Hi, welcome to Perfect Journey. I am doing this very impromptu because I have a lot of things to get done today, but I did want to come on real quick and talk to you about personal truths. It's something that's really been on my mind lately. A personal truth is something that you believe firmly and that works in your life based on experiences, what you've been told, what you've been taught, etc. These personal truths don't necessarily have to be actually true per se. They are just things that you yourself believe are true, and you lead your life with these values. So one of the things that I personally had for a personal truth was that that I'd always be plus size. And even when I started with Blue Ox Fitness, I have someone who does my meal plans for me, tells me what to eat. They give me an exercise plan, and I utilize them to get healthier. Not so much to lose weight, but to get healthier. And since I started with them about a year ago, I've lost 40 pounds. But my personal truth still was that I was overweight. Well, I am overweight, but that I'm still plus size, and that I would always be plus size. I had always been told that I would always be plus size, and I always felt that even with my body structure that I would always be plus size. So that was my personal truth. I went shopping the other day because I don't have any clothes to wear anymore. The clothes that I have no longer fit, and the stuff that I was ordering online did not work. And I was just getting frustrated. Well, stores have started opening, so I went shopping. And I went to a plus size section. That nothing worked. I was so frustrated. I couldn't find anything. And then it occurred to me, well, maybe if I go to the other section, and I'm like, I was just hoping anything would work. And I get over there, and not only am I in the regular section, but I'm a smaller regular section than I thought, which surprised me. But then I kept finding myself going back over to the plus size. So I'd find one piece of clothing and go, okay, well, now I need, I found a pair of shorts. Now I need to go find a shirt. So I go back to the plus size and nothing worked again. And I couldn't get it through my head that I'm no longer a plus size, that I need to be in the other section, because my personal truth is that I am a plus size. Now, this in itself is interesting to me, and I, kind of just thought about it. But the other thing that I realized in the last few days after this happened, is that personal truth, that firm belief, whether it is true or not, actually had an impact on me for when I was, losing weight. I would hit a certain point on the scale, and all of a sudden I would get this anxiety attack, and I would get uncomfortable, and I would get just kind of freak out, and then I would just spend 2 weeks eating unhealthy and getting that weight back, and then go, oh, here we go again. But I never understood why. And now I do. It's because my personal belief, my personal truth, it's because my personal truth was that I was a plus size and I always would be a plus size. So once I started seeing that that was no longer true, I started seeing a different narrative, I became uncomfortable and I became unable to handle it. So I had to change it to make sure that my personal truth continued. And I've seen that with a couple of other things that I've done. If I start getting recognition for something, I'll stop because, oh, that goes against my personal truth of I'm not good enough, and I'm not good enough to do that. And it's a very self-sabotaging behavior. It's a very deprecating behavior, and it's something that you do subconsciously that you don't realize. We have personal truths on everything that we don't even realize that is actually a personal truth, not necessarily a reality. You can have personal truths in any aspect. There would be, like, for instance, someone who, here's another one of my personal truths. In 4th grade, I fell behind in spelling, and I struggled after that. I couldn't get it. I had problems with it. And my personal truth after 6th grade, because I struggled so hard with it, is that I would never be a good speller. Well, you know what, I could be, and I am not that bad any longer, but all I had to do was put a little extra effort into it. That does not, because I'm having to struggle with something, doesn't mean that I'm not able to do it, and that should not become a personal truth. There's nothing that should become a personal truth unless it's propelling you forward to a better life. Anything that you currently have that is a negative personal truth, and some of these are so well hidden that you might not even know it. The weight loss thing, the thinking that I was always going to be plus size, while I understood that as a personal truth, I didn't realize that it was a personal truth that was actually holding me back and that I was going on my way. But whatever you tell yourself, that's what it's going to be. Oh, I'm not a good writer. I want to write a book, but I'm not a good writer. Well, you're right. Then you're not going to be able to write a book because you are telling yourself you can't. What you tell yourself is what becomes your personal truth. I am a good writer. I need to sit down and write that book. I need to put the time and effort into it. And when I start thinking that way, then that becomes my truth. And what your truth is how you lead your life. So if you tell yourself that you're negative things and your personal truth is negative things about yourself, that's what you're going to see coming out of your life. And that is what you're going to reap. What you put out is what you reap. Sometimes it's really hard to change those stories and change that narrative that we're telling ourselves. Once you start telling yourself a different story and you set a new personal truth, you'll start seeing these things come to fruition. Things that you've never really truly thought could actually happen will be happening because you'll be telling yourself that that's your truth. That's what you are. That's who you are. And then that is what you'll start seeing. Because again, what you put out is what you get back. You put out that you're not good at drawing, then you won't be a good drawer. You put out that you aren't good at painting, then you won't be a good painter. You put out that reading's too hard, then it will be hard for you. But if you put out that you love to read, you'll be going through books like you wouldn't believe. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It will come, but you need to continue to put out that new personal truth, put out that new story, that new dialogue, and your mind will catch up with you. As soon as I figured out that I was sabotaging my weight loss, as soon as I realized, as soon as I hit a certain weight, I would, make sure I gained that weight back. All of a sudden, I was able to get below that weight because I realized it. I gave myself a different personal truth. I told myself that no, that particular number is just a number on the scale. I'm going to go on a sidebar here. Numbers on the scale lie. Lie so much. They just do. Don't use measurements. Don't use the numbers on the scale. If that's your personal truth is to lose weight. Or your goal is to lose weight. But again, what you put out is what you're going to get back. And I know that seems so simple and so ridiculous, but it's true. Your subconscious listens to the stories you tell it. And if you say, I can't, then you can't. If you say, I can, then you can. If you say, I am, then you are. It's going to go off of what you're telling it. It's time to change up that story. It's time to give yourself a new personal truth. And it's time to get those goals and that life that you've always wanted. Thank you for taking a few minutes to, listen to me talk today. Like I said, I do got a lot to do. I have so much going on today. But I'm hoping to start posting regular videos again. There has been a lot going on around here preventing me from doing that, but I really needed to get this message out today. I'm hoping someone benefits from it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.